Well, my father told us growing up that we should always remember that we had drawn winning tickets in life's birth lottery, and that, if we were successful and did well in the world, it might partly be due to our effort, but in large part it would be due to luck. And that always stuck with us, that we could just as easily have been born in a slum in Calcutta or a village in Kerala where he's from. For us, growing up, the message was that you have a moral duty to ensure that people who weren't born into your privileged circumstance at least can achieve their basic human potential. So Sama means equal in Sanskrit, and Samasource is a nonprofit that connects low-income women and youth to work over the internet. We invented a model called micro-work, which involves taking big technology projects and breaking them down into small tasks. And then we farm those tasks out to youth and women workers primarily in developing countries, but now also here in the US, through a technology platform that we built called the Sama Hub. So you can think of it like a virtual assembly line. We allow people who aren't necessarily skilled digital workers to do work for big companies because they're just working on small pieces of it. Our industry is now called impact sourcing, which is this idea of deliberately sourcing workers for digital projects that are in unlikely locations or who are marginalized in some way. We find that it's really not a skill issue at the end of the day. Most of our workers pick up the work incredibly quickly. They're very motivated. It's just overcoming that psychological barrier of feeling like you're different or you don't belong because you're poor. And we've seen this especially among women in some of our centers, women who I think have systematically been told that they do not belong in a workplace and certainly don't belong behind a computer. And to see the difference in some of these women after 6 months is just incredible. We've seen women completely transform their social and religious and family lives as a result of being empowered through work. And it's a much more organic process than if we were going there and telling them how to think or what to do. We find that giving them a living wage really transforms their lives. SamaUSA is a program that connects low-income community college students to online work. And we essentially train them in an 80-hour boot camp to take advantage of this new world of online work, which is a billion-dollar industry that includes things like transcribing audio notes remotely or digitizing receipts or that sort of thing. Anything that can be done remotely for a small business or an employer. Our program so far has resulted in people earning about $1,500 in supplemental income in the span of 6 months after being trained. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're living on about $11,000 a year, which is the poverty line for a single person, that's an over 10% income bump. So we think that this program is likely to help people graduate from community college and then move into formal employment and really change their lives. There's a memorial here in San Francisco at Yerba Buena Gardens, which is probably the most moving memorial that I've visited. He said, "I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can afford 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits." I often wondered, what is the goal of international development? What is the goal of poverty alleviation? Why do we care about whether people make $1.25 a day or $3 a day or $6 a day? And how do we measure success? And I feel like that quote perfectly encapsulates the aim of all of this work that we're trying to do. It's just about allowing people to achieve their basic potential. And if you live on less than $2 or $3 a day, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to fully, I think, experience your humanity. And so that quote has stuck with me for many years. And whenever I wonder why I do what I do, I reread it.